everybody. It's Monday night. Welcome back from your weekend. It's a little floody here. It's raining. I know it's like that in New York and other parts of the East Coast. Hey, Anna. Hello. I get so excited when women are watching this because, hey, Janet, wow, it's like a ladies' night. I get so excited when women are watching because I always expect it to be like all men. And I love all of my viewers, like no matter if you're male or female, I love you so much. But it's like especially exciting when there's women also, just because I feel like it like debunks my idea of my show being like all male viewers. So it's like a mix. And I see Steph is on too. Hey Steph, hey Jonathan, hey Nate. Anyway, we've got like so much today. It's so great. Like Friday, I was just, what are we gonna talk about? This Eugenia Cooney thing, I didn't even know who Eugenia was. Eugenia's, oh, Steph is on YouTube. Steph switched to YouTube. Oh, if you're not on YouTube, by the way, if you're watching this on Periscope, you should totally switch over to YouTube. The YouTube community is like its own thing. Everybody in the YouTube comments seems to know each other. So that's really cool. So Friday night, we talked about Eugenia Cooney. She's like this anorexic girl who, Shane Dawson, who's a both YouTubers. So Eugenia Cooney is like this YouTuber girl who, for like 6 years, she's been doing these YouTube shows. Like she does, sometimes she does live streams, sometimes she just does random videos about her life or whatever she's thinking or feeling. And she's really nice, like she comes off really nice in her videos, very skinny, to the point that she looks like a skeleton. She doesn't even look like an average. I've never in my life seen anyone that skinny, except for like in photos where people are starving, like people in Africa, or really awful pictures from the Holocaust. Those are the only people that I've seen look that bad. That's how scary this girl looked. Very, very skinny, and she didn't seem to have acknowledged that she needed to eat. But finally, after 6 years, she's been going and getting treatment, and part of that, I think, is thanks to Shane Dawson, another YouTuber, who went to her house, and he did like this whole documentary sort of thing, like hour-long video. I think it was like, or 30 minutes. I think it was 30 minutes long. And he went to her house and filmed everything, and it was kind of like an intervention, encouraged her to go and get treatment, some kind of therapy or something for her eating disorder. And so she looks a little bit better. Like she looks like she's got a little bit more fat or something. And so that's great. She's very pretty naturally. She's very beautiful. So just some more fat, healthy fat and color to her face. And by color, I don't mean makeup. I mean like natural blood to her face. That would be perfect, because like there's so many girls who think that they're going to be prettier if they lose weight, and it makes me cringe to see what people do to themselves. Also, especially in TV, like some of these really beautiful like people who work in TV, who are like on camera, especially people who are on camera, because the camera kind of makes you look a little wider than you are. They will go to lengths to like diet like crazy and just turn themselves into skeletons, and they think that it looks better. They think people like think they look prettier. But I'm sorry to tell you, it makes you look like a skeleton. Steph says women in Orthodox Judaism have higher rates of eating disorder. That's very interesting. I had a lot of girls in my school. I went to private Orthodox girls' school in LA growing up in high school, and we had a lot of girls with eating disorders. So maybe that's Yeah, it's like it's tied very strongly to self-image and self-esteem and all that stuff. Felix says, I need some candles or funky lights in my background. There's a layer of darkness and doom. I actually have like this whole idea, and I was going to show you guys before I do it. I was going to show, so I had like this background. I was going to make like a background with just like a bunch of colored stuff stuck together. It's kind of messy, but it would just be like my background, and I would make a makeshift little wall type of thing. It wouldn't even be here. It would be like in a different part, like there. And I'll show it to you later. Maybe if I have it ready by tomorrow, I'll show it to you tomorrow, and you can see if you like it. And then if you do, we'll just keep it. If the people like it, we will keep it. Steph says she'll make a background of her protest posters. That would actually be really funny. That would actually be really funny. You'd have to make like a mix of posters that include NRA posters. It would be like a really trippy background. Okay, so no toilet song. All right, so Kathy Zhu, if you've seen her on Twitter or Facebook, or you've seen her on YouTube, she was on Fox a few times, I think. And I want to talk a little bit about Kathy Zhu, really just because I know her. And so I feel like talking about her because I know her. She's a 20-year-old girl. She lives in Florida, I think. She lives in Florida. And she's in school. She's in undergrad. She's a political science major student. And she is also, she does like a million things. Like when I met her, she was here in DC. She's like this young, very polite girl, just very proper. And kind of, you know, she's not very loud. And you think that you'd think she would be, but she's not. You meet her and she's just like, she's just really sweet. And, but she's got like so much under her belt. She's doing so much at once. She's in undergrad, and then she's also at the same time, even before she became famous over the past few days, just in general, she's been doing pretty well on Twitter and in her activism. She's, you know, she was already known on her campus, her college campus, for the type of activism she does. She's very outspoken for the things she cares about. And she's also Miss Michigan, which is like, I didn't even know that about her. I knew that she was active with all this stuff, and I was already like, wow, she's also Asian, so that like kind of makes sense. But still, I was like, wow, she's in, I just made an Asian joke. So she's like an undergrad. She's doing all this stuff, and she's 20, and now I find out that she is also Miss Michigan. So apparently, she's a Trump supporter. So apparently, they dethroned her, like they took away her Miss America crown, because they said that she did a few things that they didn't like. Let's read what the things were that they didn't like. They said, Ms. Kathy Zhu, it has been brought to the attention of Miss World America that your social media accounts contain offensive, insensitive, and inappropriate content. Offensive, insensitive, and inappropriate content, and in violation of MWA's rules and conditions, specifically the contestant requirement of being good character, and whose background is not likely to bring into disrepute Miss World America or any person associated with the organization. Parentheses, MWA rules and conditions, paragraph 1G and H. Therefore, and effective immediately, MWA does not recognize you as a participant of any sort or in any capacity as it relates to any and all events of MWA. Furthermore, Let this communication serve as official notice to remove any mention of yourself as a participant in MWA from all social media platforms, including photographs of you wearing the MWA Michigan sash and or crown, and any text claiming to be a participant of MWA events. Dang. Please confirm receipt of this email communication signed by the State Director of MWA Michigan, the National Director of Miss World America, and the Chief Operating Officer of Miss World America. So they're literally like, here, you're not part of Miss America anymore. Not only that, you can't wear the sash or claim to be part of Miss America or anything. You can't show yourself as Miss America in any way. Alright. Okay. Steph, I was told not to stop this in order to read your comments, but it's like an addiction. So like I have to go and read it. I'm gonna try to not do that, but I'm gonna do this thing where I stop and read. Never mind, it's an addiction. Carry on, and that's not all. They give a reason why. They give a reason why she's banned from being Miss America anymore, why her crown was taken away. They don't say. Do they say? They said inappropriate content. Inappropriate content. Okay. This is what she said. This is the exchange between Kathy, the 20-year-old girl, and the director of Miss America. By the way, like, if it were me, I would just break down crying. I would not be able to communicate with the state director or whatever. These, like, college kids and high school kids right now are the bravest kids that I've ever seen, because I don't know, when I was in undergrad, it wasn't so long ago. But when I was in high school, because she's 20, when I was 20, I couldn't do that. I'm still, like, now, I cry at every little thing because, it's scary. Okay, so, but she's texting the state director. State director says, Kathy, I will need to talk with you this evening. Please do not post anything on social media today. Who is this person telling a girl to not post anything on social media? Is this her boss? Is this her mom? Nobody can tell you that. Except your boss, if you, signed a contract that your boss, somehow owns your social media. So Kathy goes, okay, what is it? The state director says, political Kathy. Kathy says, yes, that's my Twitter username. State director says, is this your Twitter? Okay, thanks. Kathy says, is there something wrong with it? Feel free to let me know what you think. State director says, we will talk later. Kathy likes it she hits the like on iPhone text. Then Kathy says, LOL, I feel anxious waiting on what you're going to say. Oh, I also have an event to attend from 6 to 10 p.m. If you can let me know earlier than 6, that would be ideal. State director says, an event? Kathy says, yes, for school. State director says, okay, do not go out representing Michigan World America. We do have a problem. Kathy says, what's the problem? This event is just a school career fair. State director says, okay, just notifying you we have an issue and we need to talk. Kathy says, are you busy right now? I'm available to talk now. State director says, I can't right now. Kathy says, okay, no problem. State director says, just please do as I asked. Thank you. Kathy, Can I ask why you posted something on a social media without running it by me first? What? Why would she run her personal social media by this random person that is not even her boss and is not even her anything? What? Kathy says, what did I post on social media that I didn't run by you? State Director says, the ones on your Twitter page about Miss Michigan. Kathy says, you told us we can't post our crowning picture on social media. You never told me I can't post it on Twitter specifically. Oh, you told us we can post our crowning. State Director says, and I think we agreed to look at your other accounts before doing anything there. Kathy says, I asked you when I was in the car with Callie if we were able to post the pictures and announcement on social media. You said yes. State Director says Instagram and Facebook posts and stories. Oh my God! What is wrong with the stupid State Director? The stupid State Director, no, she's smart. She sees that Kathy has a large following on Twitter. So she's like, you can only post on Instagram and Facebook. You can't post on Twitter. Why not Twitter? Because Kathy has a large following on Twitter. If Kathy posts on Twitter, people will know what assholes these people are. You're stripped of your title, but you can't say anything. No one can know about it. You can't post anything about it on social media, especially the social media that people will actually read and see. We don't want you. We're going to hold your mouth shut, but no one can know about this. It's like this is like an abuse tactic. I don't want to be dramatic and be like, it's abuse. But it is an abuse tactic. I mean, when you do something to somebody, but then you go a step further and say part of the punishment is you can't talk about it to anybody, nobody can know about it, you're like putting that person in a jail. You're putting them in a mental jail. And this is Miss America. This is like a legit organization, like a major organization. I mean, I've seen Kathy's posts. She's very pro-Trump and she's very this and that. She's not like racist or whatever. You know, I've seen her posts. She's not. Okay, go, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Kathy Zhu. Her last name is Z-H-U. She's Asian. Okay, so let's see what else happened. Kathy says, you never specifically said that, Lori. Meaning just Instagram and Facebook, no Twitter. State Director says, Kathy, we have a huge issue now. You see how she keeps doing that? We have a problem. We have an issue. But she doesn't say what because it's like ominous. Anyway, so Kathy goes, most people that follow me on Instagram follow me on Twitter, too. Okay, what is the huge issue? State Director says, I'm talking with the World America team. Kathy says, can you tell me what the huge issue is? I'm still very confused on what the huge issue is. State Director says, I will talk with you after I get done with them. Kathy says, okay, so you still haven't told me what the huge issue is. State Director says, I will after I get done with them. Also, when she originally contacted me, she used her Chinese first name and email. Then she said I could call her Kathy and have me that email. I feel so terrible. Someone also said you had misled them about who you were. Oh my God. So basically, this State Director is like messaging Kathy, right? And then she's like, well, I have to get back to them and then tell you. And so she accidentally texts Kathy what she was supposed to text to like the other people. The thing she accidentally texts Kathy is the thing she texts Kathy is that, like, Kathy had her Chinese name. Kathy has a Chinese name that I don't know because I probably can't pronounce it. And so then she has her Kathy name, right? And so the lady, like, confused her Kathy name and the Chinese name. And so so the lady who is accusing Kathy of being racist, right, accidentally in the text, like, texts Kathy by accident instead of the other people, state director or whatever people, like, confusing Kathy's Chinese name and being like, oh, I feel so terrible. Whoops, I mixed up her Chinese name with her Kathy name. And then so she tells Kathy, you misled them about who you were. What do you mean you misled them about who you were? That's what people do when they're from another country. They have two names. Everybody does that when they're from a different country. They have their other country name, and then they have this name. I mean, my parents, they have their Persian name, they have their American names, or English, or whatever. Chinese, you have your Chinese name, you have your English name. Your name is in Farsi, your name is Shirin, and your English name is Cheryl. That's what people do when they're from a different country, and these people are so tone deaf. And then the state director says, I have a lot of stuff being thrown at me right now from the national's office. We're going to need to have a conversation. Kathy, who's seeing all this, like, just total shit show in her text, responds, LOL. And then the state director says, you're laughing at this. Then Kathy says, did you send that message to someone else? That wasn't supposed to be sent to me. Then the state director says, no, someone sent it to me about you. And then Kathy says, what about me, though? What's wrong with my name? The lady says, the state director says, you misled them. Kathy said, can you explain this in detail? Who did I mislead? Can you tell me the full story? You're giving snippets of something I don't understand. State director says, why did you leave school in Florida? Kathy says, because I transferred to University of Michigan. Okay, so when I met her, she was in Florida, but now apparently she's in University of Michigan. State director says, Kathy, why? Kathy, as I tried to say, let me get to the bottom of it and then we can talk. I don't appreciate being hung up on either. Not the way I would expect you to handle being confronted with a concern like this. So probably Kathy probably part of this conversation was on the phone, which is why the state director is so angry. They had probably a conversation on the phone, and then it sounds like Kathy hung up on them. And now the state director is like, why are you hanging up? And so Kathy says, tell them to find any of the screenshot tweets on my Twitter before you accuse me of any of this. It's sad and disheartening to know that you're taking their side before even asking me about what my side is. For you to assume that I came to U of M because of a suspension is ridiculous. U of M will not accept any student who got suspended from another college because of something. Okay, so they're accusing her, the only reason you came to University of Michigan is because you probably got suspended. Kathy said, why are you saying that? That's not true. State director says, I didn't assume you got suspended. I asked why you left. I made no assumption. I'm not taking a side. I'm just trying to understand what they have, and I'm trying to ask you questions about it, and you're getting defensive for no reason. I can't help you or me right now if we don't work together. Kathy says, okay. Kathy says, this girl, Scotland Calhoun, I don't know who that is. Okay. So basically, okay, and then she posts a tweet from Kathy. Kathy is basically tweeting about black deaths in the country. Did you know that the majority of black deaths are caused? Okay, so I'm not going to read her tweet because I don't want to be like having a snippet of me reading the tweet and then it's like my thing. But anyway, so Kathy's posting statistics about black deaths in the country. Statistics. The lady says this is from 2016. Is this you or Connor? I don't know who Connor is, but Kathy is saying this statistics aren't racist. The lady says it's not just a statistic, it's a comment with no statistic. So she says you didn't add anything to it. Anyway, this is the end of the text conversation. But it was more interesting in like earlier when they were having this whole mix up. But anyway, it's still going on. Kathy, I remember before this happened, she had like under 60,000 Twitter followers. The funny thing is, like, this whole thing happened because Miss America was trying to cover up their ass. They were like, we don't want this girl she's controversial. We don't want her in representing our organization or being affiliated with us in any way. So they do something that gets them even worse press than they were trying to avoid in the beginning. So first they were like, oh no, we don't want this little girl being associated with us. She's got these bad opinions. And then they do this whole thing very unprofessionally. And she gets even more coverage. They were trying to prevent her from having a voice on Twitter, right? She had under 60,000 followers before this happened. Now, let's see how many followers she has now. Now, she has 135.7 thousand followers. That's a lot. That's definitely more than doubled in the past few days. That's great. And it keeps going higher because it's only been a few days. It keeps going higher. Today she was on, and she's going on TV. She's doing all these different interviews. Streisand effect, says Jonathan. So, yep, that's the story of Kathy Zhu. If you want to try and control someone from getting their information out there, you're going to make it worse. The best way to amplify information is to tell people, it's a secret, don't tell anybody. Or, you can't tell anyone, I'm going to kill you if you tell anybody. Actually, if you say that, they're going to go tell everybody. They're going to be like, someone is going to kill me if I don't say this. Or, I don't know. Like, the best way to get information out there is to try and control it from getting out there. Or make people think that you're trying to control it from getting out there, because it's like the dumbest thing ever. It really works. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. That's what you should say if you want people to, that's what I'm going to do from now on. That's what I'm going to do from now on. It's a secret. Don't subscribe. This is a secret club. Our YouTube club is a secret club. You should not subscribe. You should definitely not subscribe to my secret YouTube club. If you want, if you want to be cool, you don't want your head to be chopped off. So that's Kathy. We've got a few influencers, more YouTube influencers doing crazy shit. Logan Paul was on Fox Business. You know what? I don't even know why I'm talking about Logan Paul. The only reason I'm talking about Logan Paul is because everybody else is talking about Logan Paul. Logan Paul was on Fox Business today, and he's talking about, I don't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about how he's so great and controversial. I'm the fastest YouTuber there ever was. I make $15 million a year. I am the best. I'm the #1 podcast in the world. his podcast Impulsive. He doesn't use Facebook. I don't even know why they brought Logan Paul on, but it is interesting. Finally, cable companies are realizing how dumb their programming is and how shit they are, that they're finally acknowledging that YouTubers are more successful than they are. Logan Paul is making more money than like all these TV hosts. Just doing YouTube. He's just doing like a YouTube video a day. Logan Paul's making more money. You know why? Because cable television is going to shit. Independent influencers are making more money. And the sooner boomers realize that, the sooner everything will be better for them. Finally, Fox is realizing it. Fox is always ahead of the game when it comes to making money. Fox is always like one-upping everybody, sometimes in really asshole ways. But in this case, it was really smart of them bringing Logan Paul on. It is showing, I don't know if it was smart, he didn't really have anything to say, but other than, talk about how great he is. But it's showing that Fox is starting to realize how important social media is. They're starting to realize how much more effective social media can be. Everybody wants to watch Logan Paul on TV. Everybody wants to watch Logan Paul. Logan Paul is trending for doing a nothing interview. It was an interview about nothing. They brought him on to talk about himself. He says he doesn't use Facebook. That's smart. He has an account with like 16 million followers or something on Facebook, and he doesn't even use it. Good for him. Facebook sucks. He says the secret to doing well on social media is to just be yourself, be authentic, and people will love that you are yourself. If yourself sucks, then you're basically screwed. So be yourself, and if yourself sucks, then you're screwed. That's it. What else does he talk about? He says that he's like ex-controversial because they're like, you're a controversial YouTuber. So he's like, oh, I'm ex-controversial. Because the reason why they're saying he's controversial is because someone's asking who Logan Paul is. Logan Paul is a YouTuber. He's a very successful YouTuber. You should know who Logan Paul is. He's a very successful YouTuber. You should know who PewDiePie is, but also Logan Paul. He's very successful, and the controversy was he was like in Japan or something, and they found some dead person who committed suicide in a forest. They were like filming, and then they like filmed it and thought it was so funny. And then everyone is like, how dare you? That's so insensitive. You filmed a dead suicide victim person. LA Child says, Pardes, excellent, is the name of my new show. You guys should send me like a list of show names, and then we can all choose. I'll do like a vote. Do a vote. Yeah. So, you know what? Someday So Logan Paul says the secret to success on YouTube is to be yourself. I think the secret to success on YouTube is to be consistent. Because some people are like, I don't know, some people are really shitty and fake and whatever, but they still do well on YouTube. You can do well on YouTube doing anything. All you have to do is be consistent, like be into it, be consistent. Just keep doing it. And you just do it like every day or every week or even like every month, but you do it like consistently, and like people can rely on you to be there. It's like you're not just there to drop shit whenever you feel like it. You're there to like have a relationship with people. So finally, let's talk about, I forgot to tell you about Terrence. Okay, so Terrence William, have you guys seen Terrence William trending? So Terrence William is like a comedian. He's really funny. And so Terrence William is a comedian, and he, like, his thing, he's like on the Trump side comedian. And so his thing is go Google him. His thing is like he'll eat chicken tenders, chicken legs, chicken drumsticks, and he'll like eat them, and he'll do his like reaction videos where he reacts to something that happened online or on TV or something, and he'll like eat his drumsticks, his fried chicken while he's watching, and he'll just laugh, do reactions. You can become famous on that. By the way, like, that's actually a perfect example of someone who became famous doing like something that you wouldn't think of because it's so dumb. Like, he's literally just eating fried chicken while watching a video of something and just laughing, like, ha 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 ha, that's so dumb, ha ha. And like, with every video, he'll do that with every video. He'll eat like fried chicken and he'll just laugh and be like, that's so dumb. What a dumbass. Aha, what an idiot. And like, that's literally how he became famous. And he just kept doing that. Genius. He's really cool. I like Terrence. I met him. I also met him in DC. So anyway, Terrence does this video where he pretends to have kicked out of a restaurant. So Terrence is black, but like, he never, like, I don't know, I never see him complain about being black. He's never like, oh no, like, and Terrence went through a lot of shit, but like, you never see him complain about anything. He'll be like, you'll never see him be like, oh, I got kicked out of a restaurant, or someone looked at me this way or that way. He never does that. So, but he made a video like crying, and it looked real. It looked like he was crying. I thought it was real for a second. And everyone's like, what, you thought it was real? I thought it was real for a second. He's basically like, oh, I was in the restaurant and I didn't like the chicken they were giving me, and they said, and I said, the chicken restaurant down the street had a better fried chicken, and then the waitress said, well, why don't you go back to where you came from, to the chicken store? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awful. And he's crying. Why did a waiter tell him that? Why did a waiter tell him to go back to where he came from? And then he goes, the chicken store, from where you came from. And I was dying. I don't know why I found that so funny, because I actually really fell for it. So anyway, see, I don't even know why he's trending. Internet influencers are the shit. They really are. Like, they could be talking about nothing, but everyone likes them more than TV personalities. Nobody watches television personalities anymore, except for people in DC, but nobody in DC matters. I mean, they're writing our laws and everything, but still, they don't matter. And finally, Huma Abedin. So, for a while, if you Googled my name, Huma Abedin's face would show up, and like you would keep putting in Google images, Pardes, and it will like replace it with Huma Abedin. Like, her pictures would show up instead. Her name would show up instead. It was like the trippiest thing ever. I think Google has like this, so they have this algorithm where it can like find your face on the internet, but apparently like Google's algorithm would see my face and immediately see Huma Abedin. So it was really interesting. And now it just shows my face. It doesn't show Huma anymore. I think there's just like one picture of Huma left if you Google my name, just like one picture of Huma, but they've somehow cleared it or something. Or maybe their algorithm has figured it out. But anyway, Huma. Oh, and I've been confused for being Huma also in person. I was at a party in DC, and actually like a media party. It was Washington Examiner, and it was on Pennsylvania Avenue, like right near the White House. And there was all kinds of like different media people there and donors and I don't know, just random people. And 3 people thought that I was Huma, or at least came up to me initially thinking I was Huma. I was standing by like the bar. I was like staring at the bartender, and I guess like for my side profile, I looked like Huma and the way that my chin is and everything. And they like came up to me thinking, and then it became a joke, but it was separately. Like it wasn't like they all came in a group. It was like one person came, and then the next person came, and then the next person, and it was like, oh, like they all think I'm Huma, and then it became a joke, and we all laughed about it. Okay. Okay, never mind. But, so Huma, Hillary Clinton's former assistant, Huma, she's married to this guy. She was married to Anthony Weiner, who is the most disgraced politician ever, who was caught sexting a 15-year-old girl, and he was in jail. I don't know if he's back from jail. Is he back from jail? Jail. Prison. Oh, he was released from prison. Wow. So Anthony Weiner, who went to jail for sexting 15-year-old girl, actually he did it a few times. He like apparently was doing it a few times, and he'd send like naked pictures of himself to like little girls. 15-year-old girl. What the heck? I don't understand it. Maybe if you're a man, you can understand it. Like, okay, I get if you want to see a picture of a 15-year-old girl. I mean, it's creepy, don't do it, but it's like kind of understanding because it's like a girl and you're a man. Okay, it's creepy, it's unacceptable, you're a pedophile, you are legitimately a pedophile, but I kind of get it because you're a man and that's a girl and whatever. Why would you send naked pictures of yourself to a little girl? Especially if you look like Anthony Weiner. Why would you send a grown-ass man, why would you send naked pictures of yourself? You are not good looking. You're like, why? Why would you send naked pictures of yourself to a little girl? Okay? This guy, he's smart. I hear from people who've interacted with him or who know a little bit about his stuff. He's really smart. They all say he's very smart and he knows his shit. Like, it's a shame that all of his genius went into, with all his genius, he couldn't think of maybe not sending naked pictures of himself to a little girl. Steph says it's power and domination over a vulnerable person. Yeah, that's really sad. That makes a lot of sense. That's really sad. Maybe that's what it is with, being it's like a power trip. But it is a shame that it would be like that. And then it's even more of a shame. So he was released in May for good behavior in prison. He was released in May. That's earlier than he should have been released. And Huma apparently gets back with him. So She filed for divorce when this happened back in 2017. So she files for divorce in 2017, and then in January 18, people confirmed that she and Weiner were seeking to settle divorce privately. Let's see. So a friend says that they're actually not back together. And so who's saying, this is actually really confusing, because all the tabloids are saying that they're getting back together. But apparently a friend of Huma told People magazine that's not true, and they're not getting back together. So I'm getting a lot of conflicting information here. They're all saying that Anthony Weiner is moving back in with Huma Abedin, but People magazine is saying that he's not. So the friend is saying, so apparently people saw boxes in front of Huma's apartment. And so they assumed that Anthony Weiner is moving in. The friend is saying that the boxes were in front of the house because he was moving out. So apparently his shit was still in her apartment. It wasn't that he had already moved his shit out and now he's out of jail and he's moving back in with her. It's that his shit was still in her apartment, and now she's actually moving it out because he's out of jail, so now he can take his shit with him. So it seems like they're actually not getting back together, according to this friend. Steph says it takes a woman average 13 times to fully and permanently leave an abusive relationship, FYI. It could be that she's, considered taking him back. I don't know. Honestly, I hope that she doesn't take him back, because this isn't the first time it happened. If it happened a few times, I remember this happening a few times, and each time everyone's like, "Oh no, she's back. I mean, he's back with Huma. Oh no." And I remember when I was in that party that I was telling you about, I was standing at that bar. This guy comes over and makes a joke like, "I'm so glad you're not with Weiner anymore. You look so much happier now." And I was like, yes, because I'm not Huma. Yeah, so hopefully she doesn't take him back. And we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. She's been totally radio silent ever since she left. She stopped working with Hillary, and this thing with her husband. Do they even have kids? Do Huma and Anthony have kids? They do, right? They have kids, right? Yeah. They have a son. They have a son named Jordan Zane Weiner. He's a baby. Oh yeah, he's a little baby. So maybe she just wanted to stay home with her kid and be out of the spotlight. But it seems like she's back now because of her husband. It's like she can't shake him off. This woman did nothing wrong, and she's just keeps getting pulled back into the spotlight because of her pervy husband dude. And there was actually like a TV show about them. It was like The Wieners or something. And I remember watching it in my old place. I don't even know why they made it was a reality show. It was very, very strange. Huma. Yeah, everybody is saying that Huma's husband moved in with her, but apparently they didn't. Apparently he didn't. So it might have just been a rumor. All right. So that's it about the political stuff. I said like a million times that I won't talk about politics. So I'm Huma, and politics is Anthony Weiner. And every time I say that I'm leaving politics, I just keep taking politics back. It's an abusive relationship, and it's just like constantly, you know, push, pull, push, pull. But at the end of the day, I always end up back with politics. Thank you, Steph. Oh man, Steph, this is really embarrassing, but I don't have it recorded tonight because I actually did find the phone that I do it on, but I forgot, since I haven't been doing it the past week, I forgot to turn it on. So tomorrow night we'll have it, and hopefully tomorrow night maybe I'll have my setup ready so I can show you guys like a colorful setup that's more like crazy and fun. And you know what? I can't not talk about political stuff. It's not really political stuff. Like, it's more, I guess, the dumb political stuff. Yeah, Steph knows that this is the mic that I use for Anchor. So because I hadn't turned on my Anchor this time, I just used it for my phone. But normally I would use this for the podcast. The podcast audio is going to come back. In the meantime, there's a really, really awesome person named Joe Anderson. Joe might still be on tonight in the comments in YouTube. Joe has been recording. He's been taking the audio from each episode, and he's been like uploading it. So if you want, you can go, and he's going to comment, and he comments on the, hey Joe. Hey Joe. So Joe comments on my tweet with like the YouTube video. So he comments with audio link. So I'm gonna retweet that each time so you have the audio, and you can listen to it in your car. You can listen to it in your, your earphones. When you're going to sleep, you can put it on, turn it on as white noise. So like, people leave like sounds of water and trees as white noise in the background so they can fall asleep. That's what some people are doing with my podcast. I don't know if I should feel like honored. I actually do feel honored. Thank you for using me as your white noise. I am very privileged to be your white noise. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. We're gonna keep talking about, but I'm not going to talk about politics in the real sense of politics. I'm just going to talk about it in the drama sense because I love drama, and that's what I realized. The reason I've been doing the past month, and I've been like, do I like politics? Do I not? I've been doing some like soul searching, and there were a few things involved in my soul searching. But I found that it's not the actual politics that I care about. Like, I don't actually care about the fate of this country. Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I do care and love this country so much. I just, like, it's too intense for me to, like, understand the policies, and it's too smart. Like, I don't have that level of understanding. I just like the drama. I just like, the he said, she said, and this crazy thing happened, and this crazy person said this and that. So I like talking about that, and that's why I'm here. And right now, politics is the craziest. Every time you try to run away, you find something more interesting in Hollywood. There isn't anything more interesting in Hollywood. This is where all the interesting shit is going down. That's why I'm talking about it. And part of the reason why I was able to come to all this discovering was because I was doing some internal meditating. I was spending time out of DC, and I will be spending more time outside of DC. I will be in Charleston this week with Daniel Bostic. You guys know Daniel. And, I'll be in a bunch of different places, but later this week. And so every weekend, I'm trying to get out of myself a little bit, spend more time with myself in different settings. I've been listening to some audiobooks that my dad sent me. My dad is super into like recently, the past couple years, my dad's been like really, really into like all these meditation books and like Zen, being all Zen and whatever. So I got into it because he's been sending them to me, and they're actually really good. Like we would always make. I mean, it's been going on for a while with my dad, where he got into this like whole, reading about the art of, the power of now, or the art of mindfulness, and all this shit that my siblings and I would make so much fun of, because it's like, I don't know, it just seems so in the cloud. But when you actually read it, it did help me a lot. And one of the authors that my dad told me about, and he sent me his like a talk from this person. His name is Eckhart Tolle, and he's a German speaker. He does he's a lecturer, and he talks a lot about mindfulness and being in the moment and just being one with yourself, having a relationship with yourself. And it really, really helps, because like if you want to do well in something, if you want to have like new ideas, the best thing to do is to totally just shut yourself off from whatever that is for a little bit, take a break, step away from it, and just be in your mind a little bit. And then just once you release yourself from forcing yourself to like think of all these ideas, the real you steps in. I'm like probably not explaining it well, but basically just discover yourself. Yeah, this guy is actually, he also has like a weird way of talking. Like when you listen to him in the beginning, Eckhart Tolle, he sounds like very sleepy. And he also does like this weird chuckle. It's like, it's like a weird chuckle. But like he talks, it's like, so now you are in the present. And you're just like falling asleep with every word. So, but then you get used to it, and it really just changes your life. It really changes everything. And people travel from all over the world to be part of his speeches. They're like in these huge halls. Ton of people go. You have to pay it's like a huge thing. People plan like a year in advance to go to one of his talks, because it's such a big deal. Because it really makes a difference in your life listening to this guy talk. It really makes a difference. And it helps. It's been helping with me figuring out what I'm going to talk about tonight, because I know that I love politics, but I don't know why, and it's stressing me out. Why do I like it so much? Why do I keep coming back to the same things? And the reason why I discovered through self-discovery and meditation is that it's because I like the drama and it's fun. And so why cut myself off from it? And anyway, so we're going to come back tomorrow night. I'm going to try and have my background, but no promises. Maybe later this week. Maybe next week. And Felix says it looks like I'm becoming religious again. Ha! Jesus says it's because I love Trump and drama. It's definitely way more interesting than it used to be. Dove says the dopamine hits from political convo is unmatched. That's true. Thank you, Diacritical. Nate says the saddest thing ever is when Pardes is leaving. I agree with you. I miss Pardes too when she leaves. Willie says, who's the speaker? The speaker I'm talking about is Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart, last name Tolle. I don't know if I should be telling you this, because then the tickets will be sold out. I'm kidding. It's for people who have no drama in their life. Actually, I have a lot of drama in my life. Like, I have so much drama, but this mindfulness stuff, it helps me to be okay with it. It's okay that there's drama. And in fact, not only is it okay that there's drama, I'm able to step outside of my head for a little bit and look at it from like an outside perspective. And when you look at it from outside of your body, it's actually pretty entertaining. It's way more fun to watch drama when you're not in it. So why don't you just step outside of your body for a little bit and watch whatever drama your body's in with whoever it is. And once you do that, it's so much more entertaining. You become like a different person. And eventually, when the show is over, you become one with yourself again and there's no drama left. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to 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 subscribe to my YouTube channel. And see you all tomorrow night. And like this video. And heart this video on Periscope and on Twitch. See you all tomorrow night.